back again with my good friend Todd Stittelberg, the Antler King himself, and we're talking everything screening. What is screening? Screening is just simply either erecting something permanent or, what we're going to discuss, planting essentially a privacy fence. Making it so that if you're on this side can't see you and vice versa. Okay, that is really important for social stress. It's really important for hiding our intentions. But what we're going to talk about right now is how can we use screening? How can we go ahead and plant a strip of barricade and have that dictate our deer movements for us?
Yeah.
Todd, go.
Well, you talked about screening. I mean, we can plant pine trees and eventually they will be a screen.
Yes, they will.
Downside is it's going to take quite a few years, number one. Number two, maybe that isn't the desired area where we wanted the screening.
Maybe not that any of the viewers ever would, but I personally have not always made the right choice the very first time.
You're not the Lone Ranger. But we sell an annual species. So it's there's 3 different varieties of sorghum, species in the sorghum family: a grain sorghum and forage sorghums, and a sorghum sedan grass.
Okay. Now, sorghum occasionally is actually planted to feed deer.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any food value to our screen?
There is, but what we generally find is that we probably get more birds using the grain from the sorghum, the variety of grain, later in the winter, which is nice. Mm-hmm. But I guess my whole focus there is let's try to screen this situation so that when I walk in, I use it to walk in, when I'm walking into a deer stand, I will walk, if we've got bedding cover here, we've got a food plot here, I've got a tree stand, I'm going to plant a strip of barricade, I'm going to walk on the inside of it to get to my stand, and the deer, when they're bedded here, they can't see me. They have no idea they're being hunted. As I get done hunting at night and the deer out in the plot, slowly get down, quietly walk on the inside edge so that they are not seeing me walk out. And it makes a huge difference.
Oh, definitely. And you go ahead and you screen off a portion of that food plot. Oh, here's a great example. You got the big egg field and that little sliver, that little peninsula field going back into the timber. Mm-hmm. Okay, you go ahead and put a screen across that. You need to leave an opening because you need to get equipment back and forth through there. Do you ever use that opening by chance?
They're creatures of habit. They don't like fighting brush. And so, yeah, what I do is I'll just drive down an area, just drive over the barricade, knock it down, make a 4 to 8 foot wide path, and the deer are on it. I mean, usually the first night I do it, they're already utilizing it. And so I've had deer walk 100 yards just parallel right along the edge of that barricade to my tree stand where I've knocked down an area, and then they'll enter the food plot there.
Well, and that just goes ahead and reiterates something that at least every hunter from our generation literally had drilled into your head. Deer are creatures of the edge. Deer are creatures of the edge. That's a perfect edge.
Yeah.
So not only are you going ahead and creating that screen there, you are creating yet another edge for them to follow. And then, okay, so you have that inlet.
Yeah.
You plant that across. Where's my stand? Yeah, that's the first question. Where the heck is my stand? Because I want to go ahead and, yes, there's all sorts of benefits, uses for barricade. I want to benefit my hunting right along with it. So if I go ahead and run that barricade across that opening to that finger going back, I happen to have a stand on that point, I stop it or drive it down 20 yards out. Most deer are going to use that right there. 20 yards, safe wind.
There's no doubt.
You know the exact yardage, and at the same time, you got the edge from the natural inlet right there that you're hunting, along with yet another edge. No powerful,
there's no doubt.
Two-punch combination.
Well, and when it comes time to pre-rut or rut, if a deer walks out into a 1 or 2 acre plot and can visually see the whole plot and there's no does on it, he's gone. Now, if I put a strip of barricade in there, or 2 strips, Now he's got to work. He's got to go through those strips in order to see everything in those plots. And what we're doing is we're keeping him on our property longer than having him disappear onto the neighbors.
And really, this whole managing deer, it's like herding cats. It is. When you're talking free-range deer, there's only so much you can do. But what you can do is you can just go ahead and stack a few odds, a little bit more in your face. And it's 5% here, 2% there, 1%. No one of them makes that huge. But you add enough of them together and, oh, this buck now has a 20% chance. Better chance of survival. Why? Because he wasted those precious minutes on your ground during daylight.
Yeah.
Final thoughts brought to you by Huntworth.
The nice thing about an annual species is, in the case of our barricade, it's very inexpensive, and you know what? I can change it next year. You know, take notes, learn from what went well, what didn't go well, and you can change that up and plant it in a different area. Or move your stand, you know.
And at the same time, unlike planting pines,
Yes.
evergreens, especially a lot of spruce, make outstanding privacy fences. But I don't have 15 years to wait.
Right.
You know, this stuff, couple months, boom, you're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
For as many obviously great purposes for using screening. A big one though is simply to go ahead and make it so that buck wastes a little bit more time. He wants to know if there's does back in that back corner. He's got to go check.
Yeah.
When he goes checks, oh, think he's going to use that opening? Not every single time, but more often. Why don't we use it so that it also positions them for a shot?
Yeah.
Two biggies right there.
Could do that. You know, we also screen roads. So if you have a lot of people driving by and you got deer out in a field or a plot somewhat close to a road and that car stops, boom, the deer are gone. You know, we can screen roads with this product also.
Oh, there's all sorts of uses for it.